Okay. Well, thanks for jumping on, you guys. I'm super excited to actually talk about this topic because as I was getting things together to talk about, it just kind of gave me a little refresher on things that I know that I need to refocus on from time to time in my own business. No matter how long you've been a coach, whether it's a week or a month or a year or 3 years, I think these are key things that we can all kind of go back to whenever we feel like we're having struggles, or even if we're just starting from a fresh standpoint. But before we get started, I just want to do a little recognition for Success Club for this month of those who have already locked in Success Club. So Margot is actually at 28 Success Club points, which is ridiculous. So she's rocking it. And then Lisa Falcon has locked it in with 8. Cammy's got 8. Carly Kasab has 6. And Michelle, you have 6. Congratulations. You locked it in. So still plenty of time to push to the end of the month, and hopefully maybe some of the stuff that I have to share with you guys tonight and those of you watching it later, maybe it'll help you drive that, home for Success Club. I'm going to switch my view really quick. Okay, so the reason I wanted to have this topic of momentum is because I think it's, if anybody, people always ask, like, what's the secret sauce of coaching? Like, what's the one thing that you could do to make your business thrive? And I think the answer comes from building momentum. And with momentum, obviously, comes consistency. But what I really want to talk about is 3 tips that I have for you guys tonight to help start that momentum or restart that momentum. So maybe you've been a coach for a while and you just feel like you're at a standstill. Maybe you can revisit the things that we're going to talk about tonight, and those will help you start that momentum over again. Because in coaching, if you think about it like pushing a huge boulder up this big mountain, it's going to be really, really hard starting at the bottom. You're starting from ground zero, which is where we've all started and where we will all start again at some point. Just things happen, life happens. But if you can just keep that momentum going up that hill and up that hill, eventually you're going to get to the peak of that mountain, and things are just going to really start to roll down the other side of that hill. And I can't stress it enough to just stick with it. When things get hard, when people tell you no, nowadays I just get excited when people tell me no, because they're like, oh, I'm busy this month, to check in with me next month. I'm like, cool, now I have somebody to check in with next month. Like, I can actually add them to my list to check in with. So just remember that. Like, we all go through those, those ups and downs in this business, but you have to keep pushing that ball up that mountain so you can actually get to the peak and you can roll off the other side and have things really start to flow. And when I say flow, I mean as far as income and growth and like those things go. So the first tip I want to talk about with building momentum is focusing on social media. Obviously, if we do not share what we're doing, if we don't talk about it, if we don't invite people to coaching or invite people to our challenge groups and talk about it on social media, we're not going to get anywhere. Social media is our business, right? We have this amazing platform, whether you thrive more on Instagram or Facebook, find which one is you and build that, because you will eventually over time create a following that people will follow you and they're watching. Even if no one is commenting on your stuff, you guys, people are watching and they're making sure that you're for real. So a few things with social media a few tips with that, with building that consistency, is to post. It used to be more times a day, but now I think with live videos and Insta stories, things have changed a little bit. So if you just post on your regular social media 3-ish times a day, I really am a little less than that, to be honest with you, because I do a lot of more Insta stories now than post on Facebook and Instagram like I used to do in the past, because I think that's more where the traffic is. But shoot for posting 2 to 3 times a day on your social media. Then if you are doing something like Insta stories, shoot to post something, 6 to 10 times a day, a quick tip of what you're doing throughout the day so people can get a snapshot of your life. What you share on social media should be, I heard this once and I always go back to it, is like a magazine of your life. It should not be like, if you look at the life of Kinsey, she does Beachbody, yes, but she's also a nurse. She's also a mom. I have a lot of other things going on in my life that I always want to share with people so they can see, like, I'm fitting this health and fitness lifestyle into everything else I have going on. So if you did a little self-check, or this is a good thing to do with a buddy, to scroll through your social media and see, like, is my social media a good representation of me? Is someone going to get a good picture of who I am based on the things that I share? Do they know I like wine? Do they know I like to camp? Do they know I have twin boys? Like, just scroll through that and do a little self-evaluation on making sure that it's not just all Beachbody, because people are going to see that and get totally turned off and think that you just want to sell them something, which we know that's not what we're about. So I think remembering that, your social media is a magazine of your life is a good tool to remember. And keeping that 80-20 balance, 80% just being real life and 20% being that health and fitness and Beachbody aspect of it. And then within those social media posts, you guys, calls to action, I'd say probably 2 to 3 times a week. Calls to action being not just throwing up a post and saying, oh, I'm so stoked about my results I got with 21 Day Fix, and having everybody be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you look so awesome, way to go. It's, I got these results of 21 Day Fix, I'm ready to do another round, who's going to join me? Or I'm so inspired by the women that I get to work with every day as coaches, who wants to join my tribe? It can be the simplest of things, but if you're not inviting people to the party, they're not just going to come, guys. You have to be inviting. That's a little bit more of passive inviting with just obviously call to actions, but put those things in. Even if you feel like people aren't paying attention or liking those things, they are. They're paying attention, and eventually the time will come when they will respond to you and they will say, you know what? I've been watching what you're doing, I'm interested, and I want to know more. So those are kind of my main things as far as creating that momentum with social media. You have to be talking about what you're doing. You have to be doing a program where you're getting results, or at least having a group of people that are, in doing a program getting results. Like 80 Day Obsession was obviously a great example of that. But, being obviously a product of the product is what we're all about. So the next, number 2, is to create momentum, running challenge groups every single month. And guys, when I say running challenge, at least one challenge group a month, if not one regular challenge group and one free group. If you're not running challenge groups every month, I'm not really sure what you're doing to drive income and traffic into your business, because challenge groups are our lifeblood. They're how we reach a lot of people and how we help a lot of people. I know every coach has their own different style, but for me, from day one, I fell in love with challenge groups. I fell in love with the community and my results, and I wanted to pay that forward from the get-go. That's why I signed up to be a coach. I'm like, well, I'm going to be doing these challenge groups anyway. I might as well get my Shakeology paid for. And then, just asking my friends and family to do it with me. So look at your schedule. Look at your calendar a few months out. You should always have your next thing ready to go on your agenda, because going back to those social media posts, like I was just talking about, you should always have something to be inviting people to, whether it's a challenge group or a glimpse into coaching opportunity or a free group, a free ab group, a free clean eating group. Have something where you can start building those relationships with other people, because eventually you're going to run out of people to talk to unless you're doing these things that are going to continually drive people to you, because they're drawn to you through seeing you on social media, and they're drawn to you because you have a service that can help them. So always have a challenge group. And I think pairing up and doing challenge groups is a great idea. I've been doing this more and more. So if you're feeling like, hey, you know what, I really want to get another challenge group in this month, but I just don't have it in me to do it all, team up with another coach, or do a 3-week group, do a 21 Day Fix group. Think outside the box. It doesn't have to be this 30-day, challenge group that we're kind of all used to. So, but your job really as a coach is to just get people those results from your challenge groups. They saw you on social media, you invited them through a call to action post, and then they joined your challenge group, they got killer results, okay? So number 3, the number 3 thing, which actually should be the number 1 thing to help build your momentum in your business, is to always hit Success Club. I think this is kind of a thing we think of as a no-brainer, but you guys, I have hit Success Club. I think this will be month 38 for me that I've hit Success Club. And I do it because from day one, my coach Sarah told me, if you want to even get your Shakeology paid for each month, you need to hit Success Club. I was like, okay, done. Like, what does that mean? That means helping 2-3 people. Okay, I can do that. And I've done it every month since for 38 months. So I think we overthink it. And I think we start to think of like, you're thinking too much of the numbers or this or that. But you know what? Success Club is a means to momentum. If you are posting on your social media, inviting people to your challenge groups, helping them getting started with a challenge pack, you are hitting Success Club every month. No doubt about it. And yes, I still invite people to my challenge groups who are, do a free trial or aren't ready to commit to the payment, but I know down the road, they may be ready at some point, or they may see everyone rocking it in my challenge group and I really need to start that Shakeology or whatever to get those best results that everyone else is getting. So Success Club is really something that should just be a non-negotiable. Success Club 5, obviously, minimum. 10 is even better. But if you're serious about actually creating some sort of sustainable income through this opportunity, Success Club is just something that we shouldn't even think twice about. Because if you're doing those things like I just talked about, building momentum through social media and your challenge groups, you're going to hit Success Club. And just to go back a little bit with consistency, you guys, I'm not saying that every single month I've ever been on my A game with coaching. I have had a lot of things in the way. Everyone has family vacations. We have life things happen. But I know what I want out of this business, and I know what's possible, and I know what it's given me thus far. And I know that if I just decide one month that, I don't really need to hit Success Club, or I really don't need to run a challenge group, I know I'm just going to slip on my own goals, and I'm going to step back and not do my workouts and not show up, because what do I have? No one's holding me accountable. So for me, it's like they're just non-negotiables for me. And I really think that's where that momentum drives, is knowing where you're going, knowing what your goals are, and telling yourself that these are the things that are going to get me to where I want to be with those long-term goals. So why wouldn't I run a challenge group every month? They really don't take that much effort. You know what I mean? And you have a blast meeting new people and reaching out and making those new connections, which is really the basis of what we do is, network and meet new people. So bottom line, it's getting new, fresh people into your pipeline through social media posts. And once you get them through your social media and you start making those connections, you're going to invite them to a challenge group. They're going to get a challenge pack. They're going to get awesome results. And then boom, they get awesome results. You're going to invite them to coaching, because why wouldn't they want to coach if they just got all these awesome results from this cool opportunity they just got to be a part of? And that's that pipeline that you want to get people into. It's that funnel that they talk about a lot at corporate is, getting those coaches started right, that have been challengers, that have gotten results, and teaching them to do the same thing. That's all our business is. It's super simple. Does it take hard work? Yes. But if you're doing these things on a consistent basis, you're going to build that momentum. And eventually things just start to roll so easily for you and your business. Not saying it's, always going to be super easy. You still have to put in the work, but what worth having doesn't take a lot of work. What else was I going to say? Just to kind of wrap all of those things up, because I talked about a lot of things, is that I hate talking about the vital behaviors, because I think they're of course we have to do our vital behaviors. But if you look at those 3 things I just mentioned, the social media, the running the challenge groups, and hitting Success Club, they incorporate all of them. They incorporate inviting. They incorporate being a product of the product. If you're sharing your journey on social media, that's being a product of the product and showing people what you're doing. You're inviting them through call to action posts, your personal message inviting people. And then if you're hitting Success Club, maybe you're recognizing people for their weight loss journey in your challenge group, or you're recognizing new coaches on your team that are also hitting Success Club. So we're incorporating, and personal development just goes into all these things, that if you're doing your PD, you have more to share, you have more to talk about, you have more people to connect with. So those are always, vital behaviors are always a no-brainer for me, but I think it's always important to bring them up, because we get a little lost sometimes in the busy work, and we forget that if we just stick to the simple things that, phase 1, they call it, what got us started, that's going to keep us going. So that was just kind of the things I know it's really basic things, but I think it's always good for us to hear again. Let me pop down into Michelle, you go, girl. How do you keep track of all the people you connect with? Contact and remember to follow up with them. So I am like the prime example of the worst person at this ever. So she asked about keeping in touch with people and contacts and what system I use. So I'll be honest, the first 2 years of my business, and even now, I'm paper and pen. Like, I'm a super techie person. I love technology, but when it just comes to tracking, like, I'm so paper and pencil. I do use Teamsy, but sometimes I just don't always, I don't know, I don't always organize it there for me. And so I still have a notebook that I can go back through. Like, I keep all my old notebooks, and I'll go back and be like, oh yeah, I talked to so-and-so, I should talk to her again. And then I'll kind of look up our conversation on Messenger and see where we left off. But I'm not the most organized person when it comes to that. I have like Teamsy. It's teamsy.com. It does cost $30 a month, and it has helped me a lot with some other things. Yeah, Teamsy is actually a site she just asked what that was, a site that's designed specifically for network marketing people. So when you sign up for it, it actually asks if you're a Beachbody coach, are you with Young Living? Are you with Unique? And it actually, when you sign up, it's like specific to what we do as coaches. So it'll say prospects, new coaches, and you can organize it however you want. I've just found a couple flaws that are kind of glitchy for me that have made it a little tricky, but I went away from it for a little while, and now I'm back using it again, long story short. But you can do a 1-month free trial, and you can actually import all of your Facebook contacts and all of your emails. Like, it's really simple in that sense, and keep track of all your conversations with those people, which I just make little like cliff notes with conversations that I have, like, oh, so-and-so just had a baby, da, da, da. And it's not that it's because I don't care and I don't connect with these people. It's just because I talk to so many people. I really want to keep a genuine like list of the things we talk about, so I can be genuine when we go back to have another conversation, because I want to actually build a relationship with them. I'm not just trying to, obviously get them to jump on board for nothing. But yeah, Teamsy, so you can always try it out. Teamsy, it's teamzy.com. You can check it out. They do a free trial. So that is what I use for that. Does anybody have any other questions? I'll just talk about it real quick. Jenna can't go because she's in Washington, but we're just messaging about our little get-together at Edgefield on the 30th, which everyone here is going to. Oh, no, Carly's not. No. I know it's the girl's birthday. I'm sorry. We'll have to do another one.
I know. That night is her actual birthday, and we're going to take him to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh. Well, well, yeah, that's important.
We'll all get Chuck E. Cheese, so.
Maybe we'll crash the party.
Yeah. I would much rather be.
Jenna said, have a drink for me because she's preggo. I will.
Yeah. Back to, I just want to say one thing. Something I do, I use Teamsy too, but like when someone specifically says like, check back with me in June, I'm having a baby or whatever, I have one of those, what are those planners? Like the Erin Condren.
Oh,
planner.
Yeah.
And in the months, like each month there's like a note section. I always check that at the beginning of every month because that's where I have notes of who to check with that month. Like just special reminders for that specific month. So it's just kind of an easy, yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I feel like for me, and maybe other people this is a hang up for them too, is like, sometimes I'm talking to someone, I'm on my phone, and then I want to put a note in my phone, but sometimes I'm on my computer and I want something more, because when I do a lot of my bulk messaging, when I'm like really getting back to people, I'm on my computer because I can just type faster. So I don't know, I just have a little disconnect and then I don't always have my notebook if I have my phone. And so that's just kind of why I still use pen and paper a little bit of the time, but I definitely, majority to keep track of people and specific things, I use Teamsy. But honestly, Michelle, like like I said, first 2 years of my business, I pen and paper. But it's like whatever system's going to work for you. And I know people use like Google Docs or Excel spreadsheets. I'm like Excel moron, so that doesn't work for me. But it's whatever you know.
And it's so funny because in the coach tracker document, you know how they have like the contacts, like the things that you can print out to put everybody's name in. I literally had those in my binder, and I would just put everybody I would ever talk to and notes and interested, and like circle the interested, you know, word or whatever. And then each month I would go back through. It was really tedious, but
Yeah.
it was, at least it was all in one spot. But yeah, the pen.
Yeah. And Teamsy has an app too. Do you use the app?
No, I just have it go to the website on my laptop.
Me too. But I think when it comes down to it, just find whatever system is you're really going to stay consistent with and just use it. I think you talk to any coach in the network and everybody uses something different, and you know, whatever works for you and whatever's going to keep you on track, just use that. And maybe try a few different things here and there. Like I tried Teamsy, and the first time I did, I was like, oh no, that's too complicated. But now I really do actually like it, and it helps me. Carly, how did you keep, Jen's asking, Carly, how did you keep your momentum while you were pregnant?
Well, I just, the Power Hour, my work time just became it was just part of my daily schedule, because I'd been a coach this past year. This upcoming July will be 3 years. So it's just been a part of like my day. So it wasn't really anything that I had to like think about. But that's when, before Jordan was born, I would get my Power Hour done before my kids woke up. So I wake up at least by 5:30 or 6 and get that done. And that would be like my chunk of work day, so I could focus on my kids. And then now I have to do it during nap time or something, because I still don't get any sleep. And so I can't really anymore. But yeah, no, I mean, or I do it before my kids go to bed. So it's just a part of my day.
Jess, I don't know that Teamsy works with Instagram. But going back to what Carly was saying about her pregnancy, she did a really good job of just, like I said about the social media stuff, is making a magazine of your life, because she just, I mean, I knew everything I still know whatever. I don't ever talk to Carly, but I know what's going on in her life. Like, I know when, like, seriously. But I think that's, I mean, I know her personally, but people who don't know her personally are going to connect with her because, I mean, Jen, I don't know if you follow her son's in and out of the hospital quite a bit, and he's got some health issues. And, you know, she's very open in sharing that, because she knows, too, it's going to, like, inspire and help a lot of other people who are going through the same thing, being like, hey, we all have these struggles with our family and our kids. And, you know, I think that's why she's so relatable and so successful, is because she just, you know, puts what she's comfortable with out there, but just shares what's going on in her day to day. And then it's like,
really unique position of being pregnant. Like, I loved sharing my journey was pregnant, because you're so real. Like, the more real you are, like, the more people are going to relate to you pregnant. Like, and the more, like, I got so many messages all the time, like, oh my gosh, you're such an inspiration doing workouts. But I mean, modified, and I share what workout I was doing and when I had to switch my programs and why I had to switch my programs. Like it seems really mundane to share those things, but that is what speaks to people, and that's what makes people learn about Beachbody and how universal it is for everybody. And so I would tell people, I'm like, no, you can totally do this when you're pregnant. It's best to do this, and here's why. And so it's a really unique position that you're able to be in when you're pregnant and sharing that journey. And I think that it just brings so many more people to you.
I know, I was joking last year because Kelly was pregnant and Margo was pregnant and Carly was like, everyone's businesses are doing so good, I think I need to get pregnant. I was like, gosh, they got a leg up on the situation. Michelle asked, what do you plan on when you're doing a call to action post? Yes and no. I'd say the prime times to do them are Sunday evenings. Sundays are always great for like a call to action for business things. Tuesdays are great because you have Transformation Tuesday, so you can post some kind of transformation, either your personal transformation or someone else's, and obviously put a call to action at the end of that. And then Thursdays, you could do Thankful Thursdays. It could be business or health. Business being, I'm so thankful I have this tribe of women, or this opportunity to earn extra income because I'm renovating my new house, or, just put a spin on it and then invite people at the end. So really it can be, those are the 3 days that stick out to me in my head. And then, oh yeah, well, just to share, Jenna is actually on bed rest right now, so I feel so bummed for her. Oh yeah, it's hard. It is hard, but I think you can, like, we've had this conversation, but you can spin that too, even with just, there's a lot of people that have been in that position and being like, I feel stuck. What can I do? I can watch other people work out. And but I think, there's a lot of people that have been in that position too that could probably use someone to like relate to in that sense, for sure.
I feel like you could also spin it like self-care, like you're doing what's best for your body and talking about what you have been doing that's best for your body and things like that. Like you can, I don't know, you can kind of always, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Gonna be off bed rest soon though. That's the goal. All right, you guys. Well, if we don't have any other questions, thank you for hopping on. I want to kind of make it quick, short and sweet tonight. Yeah, so I'll see some of you next Friday and some of you soon after that, maybe in Mexico. Carly. Jen, you want to go to Mexico? You can go on bed rest. We could take it on a gurney or something. All right, you guys. Well, have a good night. I'm going to stop recording.